Hello, fellow plant enthusiasts. So, a few months ago, I made this terrarium and stuck a miniature begonia in here. But this terrarium had gnats, and I treated it for the gnats, and then I neglected it. I never really did much, and it has overgrown and needs a major cleaning. So, the first thing I'm going to do to clean it is I have some cotton balls. I'm going to take segments. It seems like it's dried on the inside, but I'm going to see if I can wipe it clean. And I'm not too worried if I prune, per se, the begonia. It was so humid you can see that the roots have grown in there. And it does seem to be cleaning well. So I'm going to need a bigger piece though. And by using the curved tongs, I'm able to get up in the top. You want to make sure that the cotton ball is touching the glass and not the tongs, because the tongs won't clean. They'll just rub against it. But you can see how this moss has overgrown at the bottom, so it needs a good pruning, but it's hard to tell what needs cleaning or like how much to prune until it's cleaned. This actually, cotton ball on here is cleaning a lot more easily than I expected it to. So I have plenty of gunk on here. Now I'm actually going to just fold this over so I can have a fresh surface if need be. To pick up more moss, algae that's grown from the humidity. And there we have it. And now I need to look at this because the moss can stay down here, but this begonia has become a little out of control. But I'm going to bend it over like this, and I'm going to assess. A lot of the roots that have grown from the begonia can actually be trimmed. It won't really harm the plant, and it's in a lot of humidity because those roots are a little unsightly. But this just needs a little more working out, but as you can see, the cotton balls do clean it really well. And it still looks like a good terrarium. I do need to add a little more things in here, but as I mentioned, it was neglected. I believe there's a rock in here somewhere. I'm going to have to find that. But yeah, moss makes a really great cover for a terrarium. But I just need to go through this repeatedly to make sure I've cleaned all the glass. And then I can always let it sit. Spray the surrounding with glass. Spray the inside of the glass with water and do some more wiping. So to do that, I'm going to use a wash bottle. A sprayer can actually evenly mist the glass, so it would be a good idea to use as well, so you don't have to use a wash bottle. I'm just using what I have at hand at the moment. Just keep in mind you don't want to overwater a terrarium because it's in a humid environment, and that's what can cause this to grow out of control, but it can also, it takes longer to dry inside a terrarium, so not overwatering is a good idea. And That looks so much better. You can see the begonia is leaning. I have some cotton in there as well. Let's see if I can just pull it out. Yeah, and I have some roots. Now what I need to do is figure out how there's the rock. I'm just going to pick up this rock and set it on top so it's still there. And then I'm going to mash this moss down. I'm going to need to put another plant in the foreground. I'm not sure what at the moment, so that will be done at a later date. And hopefully this begonia will start growing more sprigs and will look happier. Oops. One thing I could do is pull out the begonia and prune it and then replant it. But the fact that it's rooted in here and leaning in such a way that this can be the foreground, I think it looks nice as long as I can get the moss to continue to grow. Look, I have some bugs in here. Is that a springtail? No, I'm not sure what it is. It's white, so it's not a gnat unless I have albino gnats or something. But yeah, this new apartment has had some gnats because the outside, they have a sprinkler system and it breeds a lot of gnats. And they've infiltrated the apartment, so I worry that this is going to have gnats in it again. But here's how it looks at the moment. It looks so much better. Once I figure out what to put on the foreground, I can work on this terrarium some more. For the time being, I think a watermelon begonia, not a true begonia, is a great plant to put in the foreground. So the big leaves contrasted with the bigger, taller, bushier miniature begonia is going to look great. So I have that as a quick embellishment on the terrarium. Make sure I get the glass clean to the bottom. And this thing is planted a little better. And there we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative or got some ideas on how to clean the terrarium. If you don't have cotton balls, you can always use a piece of tissue. Anyway, thanks for watching and happy planting.